Hey gang, we are in Vermont, passing through Arlington, Vermont. There's the church. There's the bell tower here in town. Episcopal Church, I believe. Very interesting history here in Arlington. 1764, there was a family that came here and settled it. This is, let's see here, St. James, yep, Episcopal Church, which is open. We're not going to go in. People are inside. Don't want to disrupt anyone, but we're going to check out the cemetery here. And I'm going to tell you a little about the history here. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at the wreath there. Awesome little town. We are camping for a couple of nights here. RV style. Right on the river. It's absolutely gorgeous. Clear water, trout swimming. Did not bring my fly fishing gear, catch and release, but I did bring my daredevils and crawfish weedless for when we get to Canada, because we're on our way to Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia or bust. So yeah, this is the historic cemetery. I have not walked in here yet, but when I drove through town, I was heading to the RV spot. I looked to my left and I saw those, and I'm like, oh, gotta check this out. Isn't this neat? So let's do a little walking around and see what we see. There's definitely inscriptions on the tablets, so I'll read a few. Yeah, it was July 28th, 1761, when New Hampshire Governor Benning Wentworth, as part of the New Hampshire grants in 1777, Arlington became the first capital of the Vermont Republic. So I was talking about the first settlers. Captain Jehiel Hawley and his family settled here 1764. They were Anglicans, and interestingly they had, oh, look at this, interestingly, speaking of interestingly, don't you love the symbolism? Look at that. In memory of Captain Wales, who died here in Arlington on the 6th day of April, 1788. Look at that. 61st year of his age. I just love this. Where do you think they got the idea of that face with those bulging eyes? There's another one over here, kind of the same thing. Yeah, it's that same face. I've seen this in Massachusetts and other places we've gone. Yeah, these are some of the original settlers, it looks like, guys. So yeah, family came here 1764, and they were fleeing Roxbury, Connecticut, because of the persecution of the Congregational Church there. Religious persecution, right? A lot of that going on. Let's look over here. The inscriptions really are clear, some of these. Born June 4th, 1768, died May 23rd, 1844. Interestingly, here at a proprietors meeting in 1764, you know, the first year, they voted to give 50 acres of land to any man who would set up a grist mill here in what would become known as Arlington. And more interestingly, the guy who took up the offer, his name was Remember Baker. Now, Remember was a name that was kind of common back in the 1700s. Just like Patience for women, I think. There's the face again, guys. It's on a lot of these stones, 1700s. And these are marble. That's why I'm surprised they've survived so well. We don't have the acid rain here. We don't have the big city. This one here has been cleaned off, it looks like. So it was accepted by Remember Baker, who happened to be the first cousin of Ethan Allen. And he did build the grist mill here. 50 acres, a lot of land, right? So what's interesting is within 4 years here, you know, you got these settlers, and then you have people in New Hampshire and New York who were laying paper claim to this area, and they started coming up here. Now, Ethan Allen, I don't know if you know your American history, but he led a group of vigilance, like a militia group, Green Mountain Boys, as I recall, and they would enforce, you know, for the people here, because these New Yorkers were coming up and they're like, this is our land, and there was conflict, and they just booted them right back to New Hampshire. So this place became Vermont and not part of those states. A lot of American flags we see. A lot of military in memory of Samuel Folsom, Folsom, who died July 28, 1812, age 71. So 71, he was definitely a revolutionary, right? George Washington, he probably saw George Washington. He may even talk to George Washington, his commander-in-chief in the Great Revolution here in this great country of ours, if you're from the USA. Abner Squires. There's a name. 87. Prudence. Prudence, wife of Abner Squires. She died February 2nd, 1832. She was 69. Don't you wish we had pictures of these people? And maybe there are some that survive. I don't know. Here's one that's fallen over. Benjamin Davis. (1787) to 1873. Well, that's pretty old. That's like late 80s, 90s. There's the face again. Someone cleaned. This is Hannah Coy, daughter of M. Daniel and M. Lucy Coy of Arlington here, who died October the 15th, 1794. She was 13 years old, 6 months, and 12 days. And you can read on the bottom there, my parents' dear. Pause it. And there's the face, the angel. Look at the little arms. It looks like hands, right? Memento Mori. You see that? It is written. Wow, so much to look at in such a small space. Pretty amazing history here. And you know, on the road, I go to these other, well, you know, I've got a Quebec City story, and This is just on the way, and this is the stuff you just run into that you would never see if you're taking a plane, which I do from time to time to get to locations. You would never see this stuff. Departed this life June 10th, 1820. Nathan Canfield, 38 years old. Yeah, Ethan Allen, the American Revolutionary War figure, the Green Mountain Boys. They captured Fort Ticonderoga. That was his role. Ethan Allen was a writer, a farmer, and a land speculator. He, born in Connecticut, moved to New Hampshire. Grants, this was all called New Hampshire grants. You know, I was talking about those grants, land grants, now Vermont. And he was head of that militia. Get out of here, New York, with your paperwork. This is ours. Ethan Allen also was a key figure in our American Revolution. But they booted the British out of the fort. That's what he's probably best known for. Lots of inscriptions. Hey, I heard that truck. Now I'm getting hungry. Look at that. Stewart's. Let's go. It's a view of the church here. This has to be a more recent, yeah, granite. 1804, 1880. Rule, R-U-L-E. Henry Rule. Mary Anfield, 1804, 1880. On the right, there's a Molly. 1830, 1846. Young. Rose. Yeah, we see this symbolism. Going to heaven. Finger. Look at this. What a neat place. Look at the size. These stones that you see here, those are taller than me. Or at least my height. I'm 6'5", guys. Without heels. Without cowboy boots, okay? Don't get started now. Reuben Beebe, B-E-E-B-E it looks like. And he died January 18th, 1838. This is wife of Reuben. Her name, I guess her name would be up here. I'm like, gosh, her name's not even, I can't read it. I think that's her name. Well, let's go check out these interesting pointy things I was talking about. They look like the caps, the hats, the pointy hats. Well, I know the KKK wasn't around. I know it's not symbolizing that. Back in the 1700s, I don't know, maybe they were, but I know that I don't think that's. I wonder what that symbolism is. Boy, this is Burdett, B-U-R-D-E-T-T. Jesse. That looks like 1826, 1897. You can't hardly read any of that. There we go again with the symbolism. And again, marble, it's amazing how this is holding up. John Gray, I think. I think that's John Gray, who died November. Well, I see 1806, age 75, I believe. And there's a prayer there. A lot of revolutionary remembered. Okay, so without further ado, let's look at these pointy things. Really attracted my attention driving in here. Samuel Baker was born December 22nd, 1773. So he was a child in the Revolution, passed in 1850. So these are later ones. Interesting, they're closer to the church. Usually it's the other way around. The oldest, here's Lucy, his wife. She died in 1830. She was born in 1777. Wow. There's a few more to... You can pause as I pan by these if you want to read them. So this is all the bakers. This one's not holding up as good, but again, we have that face. Look at that. Oh, again, you can read this. She really something. P-O-F-F-E-F-F something. Oh, you got me. Is that Old English? I don't know. You can pause it and try and read that. We'll see how it comes out in editing. So here's two more of these pointy guys. Deming, 1765, born February, died in 1847, same month, within a week of his birthday. Sylvester Deming. Sylvester Deming. And there are a lot more Demings here. Here's a different kind of symbol. Looks like a chalice of some kind. Alright guys, I think I'm going to close it here at this amazing cemetery if you like history. Alright guys, I'll see you at the next stop.